speech is going to be a how Appa feels like he's trapped in a cage. So, being pushed to do things you don't want to do is like being confined in a small space. You're required to do things like move to a new home, new school, and to start a new life. In the book, A Step from Heaven, Appa is going through many troubles, and he feels that he's not welcomed. He is forced to move to Migook, start a new life, and forced to leave some of his family behind in Hangook. Appa sometimes feels that he is trapped inside a cage and he has no way to let his anger out except on his family. The way Appa deals with his anger is by drinking. When Appa drinks, he'll go off the deep end and start getting into fights. As stated by the author, Appa throws me on the couch and stands in front of me. His nostrils flared and his eyes anger. I bow my head to keep from smelling the sour alcohol breath blowing down on me. Page 136. Appa feels that this is the only way for him to express his anger because he does not feel welcomed. When people have lots of anger, they have it all piled up. Sometimes what they do is many things, but for one thing Appa did was by leaving. For Appa, this is what he went through, but he left for good. As stated by Youngju, a blue sedan that was parked not more than 10 feet behind us and starts its engine and drives by us quickly. The figure of an Asian woman in the driver's seat. She stops the car at the curb. Appa quickly walks to the car. He gets into the passenger side, and they drive away. Page 140. Appa, to be happy, he just had to leave that kind of lifestyle. Later on, Appa decides to leave again. He finally figured out that for him to have his freedom, he could not live in Migook anymore. As stated by Uma, Gomo came by the restaurant today, Uma says quietly. She came to give me a message. Appa is going back to Hangook. So Appa's heart never belonged in Migook. It was always in Korea. For once in Appa's life, he made his own decisions to go back to Korea. So he took charge of his life. When you are trapped in a cage, do you feel like everyone else is in control but you? Appa feels like he is living a life that is not his. Alcohol has changed how Appa reacts and feels in his family. Because of this pain that he had faced, he made a decision for his life to leave and to go to Hangook. Appa is teaching us to never let anybody else control your life. Take charge and never be trapped in a cage and always be free.
Bobby, your thoughts?
I think she did very good on her note cards. I saw her looking down every now and then, not too often. She definitely, she wasn't a 4, but she wasn't like a 2 or a 1. And on her gestures, she was actually, I think she was pretty good.
Anybody else? Any other comments?
I liked how your voice was not too loud, but not too small, so it's medium.
You can call your own people. Call them.
Michael?
Surprisingly enough, before you started it was 12, and when you ended it was 15, so it was pretty much exactly 3 minutes. So even within the criteria, you did fit it in 3 minutes.
I kind of paid attention to like your body movement, and I liked how you like looked down in the car for a certain amount of time, and then like looked up to everybody. Like you're prepared. You kind of had the tone of your voice. Oh, I'm ready for it.
Connie?
You spoke very academically and scared the audience.
That's a very interesting read of Appa, and then his heart was always in Korea. And so, what does that say? Was his focus on his kid? I'm asking you, William. Was his focus on his kid?
I don't think so. I think it was more on him and his like own feelings.
Do you think that lady in the sedan was anybody new, or do you think he's always had her?
I think he's always had her, kind of.
And that, class, is what you should have paid attention to, is that the reason why he's been so disconnected is possibly Appa's been having an affair the whole time. And so, remember when Youngju says to her mom, you have choices. Possibly, she could have been inferring to, everybody's already known. Other feedback? please write down what you thought about her gestures. What would you do differently, or what would you do the same? How she stood, her analysis of the story. Would you do the same? Bobby, this actually means that you have to write. Oh, so sad. There's markers right there in the middle. How did she speak? Was she speaking in a dynamic way, or was she speaking in a very monotone type of way? Malia, you can sit down. Thank you. Michael, that's my favorite flavor.